Hey everyone, this is Martin, and I'm sitting here at the computer desk and getting ready to update some information on a video that I had done probably about a year and a half ago on finding affordable land. And a couple of things have changed since then in the market, in the real estate market, that I just kind of want to update you on. If you want to find the original video on that, it'll be up here in the upper corner. If you've been able to gather any kind of value out of these videos, I'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I want to just go in and address the whole idea of getting started, getting your land, getting on your feet on your land, and starting to live your dream lifestyle. And as I look through social media, the questions that I see being asked over and over and over again is, how do you get started? How do you find your land? How do you get your land purchased? How do you get started with the whole process? And it's just over and over and over again, with new people asking the same questions over and over. And things have changed a little bit, but I guess the big thing that I kind of want to address, that sort of is the behind the scenes issue, that I'm not sure if they just can't put their finger on it, or if they want to avoid the whole idea of, the cost and the budget and all of that. But, as you start developing this lifestyle idea in your head, you really need to decide what it is that you dream of doing. What is your dream piece of property or dream lifestyle? And whatever that is, you then have to look at your budget and say, do the two match? Can my budget support my lifestyle, my dream lifestyle? And in many cases it can't. So you have to find a way to bring those two together before really anything is going to happen. And I've told people in the past, you either need to learn to shrink your lifestyle or your dream down to match your budget, or you need to increase your budget or your income to match your lifestyle or your dream. And there are people that are both ways. As you're looking at the off-grid or the homestead kind of lifestyle, there are people that say, well, I only have this much of a budget, but I can fit my dream into that budget. And if that's the case, that's great. But that's also going to restrict how you search for land and how you approach purchasing it or financing it. We are more the people that say, this is my dream lifestyle and here's my budget, and I'm going to force that budget up into matching that lifestyle. And it's not a huge transition for us. I mean, we're still living in a 400 square foot cabin down here, but we were able to buy a beautiful piece of land that we really, really, really like. Starting from scratch, we brought in and created all of the utilities, including a solar plant that can run the whole place here if we want it to. We don't have it do that all the time, but if we want to, it's there. And we cleared the land, built the roads, built the cabin, did all of things, built the septic system ourselves, which is a state certified and inspected system. So, I mean, we didn't cut corners and go under the radar there. But that's what we wanted. That was part of our dream. So we really had to find ways to bring our income up to that. And we do a lot of videos on how to create sustainable income on your property. You'll have to kind of look around and find them on our channel, but they are there, and we're continually producing those, because as the last 12, 15 years of our life involved how to figure out how to make sustainable income on recreation properties. Now we're just on more of a homestead off-grid kind of a property, but we're bringing we're transitioning a lot of those ideas that we were using before, and they work. And so it's enabled us to create a lot more income than typically what a lot of people try to do the same thing end up getting. So, find those videos if you're interested in seeing those, or even ask questions on, what do you mean? How do you do the income thing in the comments down below, and I'd be happy to address that. But so let's talk about for just a second what has changed in the real estate market. There's been a change for the better and a change for the worse over the last year and a half. The change for the worse is they've started raising the cost of financing. So right now, you could get financed a year and a half ago for almost nothing is a lot higher now. It's probably 3 times as high as what it was. So So that's a downside if you're looking to finance. Now, if you're paying cash, it really doesn't matter. Then there's only an upside, because the upside to the interest rates going up has been the demand for the land has started coming down some. So things are actually a little bit more affordable. Not a lot, but a little bit more affordable now than they were a couple of years ago. And so how you go about finding that land is, I see these questions again. Sorry to bore you with that statement, but I see the questions come up about where do you find off-grid land, or where do you find homestead land? And really, the off-grid and the homestead isn't a category of land that you search when you're looking for a piece of land. Now, there's probably some sites out there that do specialize in that. But for the most part, if you want to get the biggest access to the biggest amount of properties that you possibly can, you can go through the national sites like Zillow.com or Realtor.com, and there's 100 other ones. None of those are going to carry quite the same quality. They're going to have all of the same listings, but they're going to have fewer of them, just because the listings will hit the Board of Realtors sites first, and then they get kind of dispersed out to the other ones. And I've honestly found properties that were listed on the local Board of Realtors multi-list site that never did get out onto Realtor.com or Zillow, or probably many of those other ones. Don't ask me why, but they say that they've got them all, but they don't always have them all. So I like going with the local Board of Realtors, as long as you know roughly the area that you're going to be in. We're down here in Southwest Missouri, so Branson is the biggest community kind of in this region down here. And so I can, for example, when we were finding this property, I put Branson in because we were living right there. And I said, I want to find a place somewhere within 40 miles of that. So I put a 40-mile radius on my search area, and I was able to find over 400 properties within that 40-mile search radius, and of where we were living. And that's a lot of properties to choose from. We looked at all of them online and eliminated most of them right away. A lot of them were in subdivisions, which is going to carry all kinds of weird ordinances and covenants that prevent you from doing off-grid or homestead lifestyle. And so those were an automatic, forget that. And then, some of them were just really big and really expensive, and we kind of got rid of that. I kind of ignored the little small ones that were 3 acres or smaller. We really wanted to go either somewhere between 5 and 20 acres is what we were looking for. So by looking at 400 properties that were available right at that moment, we were able to narrow it down to about 20 of them that we felt that we needed to go look at in person. After looking at those in person, we were prepared to make offers on probably 6 or 8 of them, but during the time the market was so hot that by the time we got ready to make offers, most of them were already sold or under contract. So on this property here, when we stumbled onto this one, and it hadn't been on the market very long, we found it, we looked at it, we thought this one would fit our criteria really well. Then later on that night, we got to thinking, as fast as these things have been selling, we just need to go ahead and make an offer on this right now. And if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. And it was accepted. I found out later there was 5 other offers on it that were less than ours. And so they accepted it. We happened to be the highest one. Otherwise, it may have been sold as well. So anyway, that's a process that we go through. Now, I picked up a town here that is a little ways away. If you're looking to fit your lifestyle within your budget of whatever that is, and your budget dictates that you're going to have to find a less expensive piece of property, the rule of thumb there is the farther you get out away from any kind of major community, the lower the prices are going to be. The more, I hate to make it sound this way, but the more economically depressed an area might be, the cheaper the properties are going to be too. So if you go to a town that's just got nothing going for it, that's probably where you're going to find the cheap property. Okay. So, I picked up one that's, the next town south of where we're at here. And I know that one is a very small community. And I wanted to see if I could find something that was under $50,000 that was suitable to do, something like what we wanted to do. And I found 2 of them. I found one for, let's see, where was it? This one right here, 5 acres, $27,000. And in looking at it, it's got good road access up to the front of it, so you don't have to worry about easements or anything like that. And it's got, it's probably 20 to 30 minutes away from a big major community. And the land actually looks like it's it looks like it's buildable. I mean, it looks mostly, everything down around us is hilly, but this looks like it's got some flat on it, and gently sloping hills right on the highway there. So this would have been suitable for us. I mean, we could have gone and done our thing right here on this piece of land, $27,000. Can you pay cash for that? Well, somebody might be able to. We might have been able to because we were selling a house about the same time, so we did have a little bit of cash. But this one would be an easy finance, I would think, without having to come up with too much of a down payment. I did find another one. Let's see. So, it all comes down to really what is going to fit what you're after. Okay, here we go. 10 acres, 39,000. So this is bigger. This is about twice as big, and it also looks like, it's mostly trees. It's pretty. Yeah. So really, getting in and searching a local Board of Realtors website is really, to me, the best way to find as much as you possibly can find out there. Now, yes, you can go ahead and do the for sale by owner thing. It takes a lot longer to find it. You don't always find a better deal. You just find more stuff than what you will find over here because it's just one property that they won't have listed. So you do have to be a little careful when if you try to do an owner finance kind of a thing. Make sure that you do, I talk about this in the other video, but make sure that you process the whole entire purchase through a reputable title company, and they will make sure that you stay out of trouble. Don't get hung with a lot of baggage that you're not expected, up to and including that the seller may not even own that land. So, another thing that you can run into is when they may own it when you make the contract for it, but what happens if they go bankrupt after that and lose the land? If they have a lender on it that's going to have a first mortgage on it, you're not going to be the one first in line to get that land. You'll have to sue them for the difference. So, there's a lot of things that can go into that can be problems with owner financing. You just need to, and we've done owner financing when we've bought land and when we've sold it. So it's a real deal, but you just have to make sure to cover your bases a lot better. Because you don't have a bank standing behind you covering those bases for you. So anyway, so you can find land that way. If you do decide to go through a realtor, pick one and stick with them. Realtor etiquette is, they all have access to the same information, and they don't want to find out that you're working with them, but you're also trying to work with other realtors too. That's just a waste of their time. So that's a good way to turn them off. The other thing is that you don't want to, a lot of them will require that you provide a letter of pre-approval from a bank or proof of funds that you're ready to purchase, because they don't want to waste time if you're just out kicking tires and looking at things, because, they get paid when a sale happens. And so a lot of them will refuse to work with you if you don't have one of those 2 things. So anyway, that's just something to think about. If you have any questions about the financing or creating income on your properties or anything like that, put them down in the comments below on it, and we will respond to every single question that we have down there. And we hope that you found some kind of information in here that's useful. If you've gotten any benefit out of this, click the subscribe button down below and the notification bell, and we'll see you next time. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like and a share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell. See you next time.